Hello, welcome to episode 19 of Debra Quilts Lots and Knits Bits. I'm Debra McCracken and I quilt a lot and I knit a little bit. Welcome to our episode, our guest star, our model, Emma Evelyn, who's 13 days old today. Today is September the 4th. It's a Friday, I believe. I'm in Calgary, but I usually come to you from Penticton. And we're having quite an unusually warm, well, not unusually warm day, but a warm enough day that Miss Emma is probably pretty uncomfortable. So we'll zip through her attire and give her back to Mom, maybe? I don't know. She might just sit here and help us the whole time. Anyway, you've seen the Play Date cardigan out of the Sassy Strings Smitten Kitten sock weight yarn. And also we had some Sassy Strings Emerald Lake colorway in the sock yarn as well. So we made ourselves a headband, which is kind of maybe not fitting very well, but you got to see this hair. Isn't this great hair on a baby? It's awesome. And Emma also has some little socks in the Emerald Lake, and we also made some little slippers. Those were all free patterns. The socks are baby socks by Kate Atherley, and I can't remember what the little slippers were on Ravelry, but they were just little ballerina slippers, and I'm pretty sure I showed them and maybe linked them before, and I don't know how many links I'll get into this one because I'm not at home on my laptop in my regular environment. Anyway, Miss Emma is such a great model. She also has a beautiful outfit on, and she doesn't even want to show us now. She likes her sweater so much. Okay, so the shawl that I'm wearing is the Sock Set Shawl by Cozy Up Knits. It was meant to be 3 colors, so 1 skein of main color and 2 20-gram minis of contrasting colors. Because I only used 2 colors, I kind of got right to the end of my main color and maybe didn't get the shawl as big as it was supposed to be. But it turned out just fine. I'm quite happy with the result. So the contrast color is that Emerald Lake from Sassy Strings Studios, Sassy Strings Yarn. And the variegated yarn I got at the Bee's Knees in Summerland, and Kristi was kind enough to help me pick it out, and I think those two went together just fine. Anyway, I will pop it into my box, and perhaps at Christmas time somebody will be very pleased to receive that. I also finished my Buttercup sweater, and this was a cotton linen blend yarn, and I believe I made the size small, and it's got this nice lace detail across the front and a little bit of a garter stitch along the edges of the sleeves and the bottom, and a little bit of lace at the bottom. And I've actually worn this a ton of times, and it's been through the washing machine, and I just lay it flat to dry, and it fits really nice, and I'm very pleased with it. So believe it or not, turquoise and turquoise, I bought this last summer, and I bought this summer. So must be one of my colors that I like. And then I went to the Bee's Knees just before I left, and I picked up a skein of this Heritage, Cascade Heritage sock yarn in this beautiful green colorway. I thought I would make a butterfly shawl for my daughter, but she said, you know, I'd really rather have a sweater. So we looked through tons of stuff on Ravelry, and we came up with this Wool and Honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. So this is the yoke. It's obviously a top-down sweater, and it's got this kind of beehive-y detail on it. So it's going to be pretty cool. We've tried this on, and so far this fits her quite well. And so I was able to get a hold of Kristi at the Bee's Knees and say, hey, I bought that sock yarn last week. I actually sent her a photograph of a whole other bell band, but anyway, we've figured it out. And I asked her if she had some more, and she did. She sent me the 3 more skeins of the same dye lot, and I'm all ready to go. Yay! So we're making great progress on the sweater. I kind of hope to get it done before I left Calgary, but I don't think I'm going to. I also got Kristi to send me some Suds cotton yarn, and while I was waiting to hear about Emma being born, I had about the capacity to knit some dishcloths, so that's what I did. Anyway, so quilting wise, well, obviously I haven't been quilting other people's quilts for about 4 weeks now because I've been in Calgary. And I brought my sewing machine, and I brought a bunch of UFOs. And I've been working on my Jacqueline de Jong Brilliant Beauties of Joy. Now, I was thinking that this thing is taking me forever. It's taking too long, and I must have something wrong with me. Because it just takes seems like I sit down and do a little arc, and it takes an hour. And so somebody the other day posted on Facebook about they had kept track of the time it took them to cut out their Jacqueline de Jong quilt, and the time it took them to do the paper piecing, and the time it took them to put the pieces together. And she was up to 150 hours just to that point, and she estimated about 30 hours for quilting. And that's probably where I'm going to end up too, because it's going to be definitely a custom quilt job for myself, and that's why I put this quilt together, so I could quilt it. Now, I've got, I think, 10 seams left to do to put the rest of the top together, and I am not at all I'm thinking it's going to take me at least 10 hours to do those 10 seams, and that's just the way it is. I thought that I could be, I've been quilting a long time. I thought I would be very efficient at this, and sometimes when you watch Judy Niemeyer and people can put those quilts together in a retreat, like a 4-day retreat. They, come with them prepared and in their bags and all the pieces cut and everything. And I thought that I could do this one that way. It didn't work out that way, but I'm kind of in getting to the point where I'm realizing that spending a bit of time isn't a bad thing. So, not everything has to be done right away. So this quilt behind me, you've seen maybe before. I don't know if I've shown it before. This is Emma's quilt, and it is a pattern by Libs Elliott. It's called Fin du Monde, and each block is based on a piece of computer code. And I don't know how computer code works or anything like that, and I'm thinking that mine might be a little corrupted because I had all the pieces cut out and put together with the corresponding colors for each block and that kind of thing. And then when I got to the end, I had a bunch of pieces that fit together but didn't go with what they were supposed to go with. And so I just put them together anyway. And it turned out beautifully. I'm very pleased. All of the colors are actually leftovers from my Brilliant Beauties of Joy quilt, where I used all of the ombres. So there were lights and darks in the same piece of fabric. And these were all from V&Co, a Moda designer. And then the background is a speckled little, it's kind of a white batik with green speckles on it. So it was perfect for this quilt. And for the quilting, I used, I think, Glide Pistachio. Could be Glide. No, I can't remember. Anyway, it was a glide thread. It was a very pale green, and it worked perfectly for this quilt. It doesn't scream on the background, and it sinks right into all of the green colors. So when I was quilting it, I wanted it to kind of have a bit of a from the center. So you could see it actually not bad in this light, where it just radiates out from the center in straight lines, and then the fill just fills in between as the straight lines get further apart from each other. And I just did a feathery fill in the background. That's just what I like to do, and I usually do. The binding fabric I used, I went into Poppins and got a little bit of the ombre confetti in the green color, and so the corners are lighter, and then well, not all the corners are lighter, it just worked out that way. And on the back we've got a little bit of a teal. This was a wide back at Poppins, and I have a piece left over from something else, so I grabbed that and I used a gray thread on the back in the bobbin, and that worked out just fine too. So I'm pretty pleased with that whole thing. And yeah, so I'm going to be in Calgary for a few more days. I haven't been able to get over to see my mom yet, or my brother, or my niece. Hence the hair knotted up in a ball and not cut yet. And so I'm hoping to do that next week before I head home. So the next time you see me, I'll be back in Penticton in my studio, and we look forward to seeing you then. So happy making, happy knitting, happy quilting, happy enjoying the end of the summer, or the Indian summer, whatever we've got in store for us. It's going to be great. So take care, and thanks for watching.